Welcome to a game between Marathon in blue here on TitanDuel with Hovers and an engineer commander. And he's going up against Yanom here in red, starting with Rovers and an engineering commander. So Yanom sent his replay and said he did pretty well at the start, but then he ran into problems in the mid-game. And on this map it's quite open, but there's also a lot of choke points, so let's see how we place this. You have a lot of viable options here. You can go for Scorcher raiding, or you could go for Fencers or Rippers to cut off these they're decent choke points. And yeah, you can either choose to go for a bit more on eco. A dagger should win against the dart, but you can escape with the dart if you slow down the dart. So he's being a little defensive, but also a bit eco. You're wasting some time here, just standing there. You probably want to expand, not much time wasted, and you choose to expand. Yeah. So yeah, Scorchers against Daggers. Daggers want to go in, shoot the shots, and then escape. Scorchers kind of they can kind of kite at max range if they're being chased by the Daggers. So yeah, Daggers shouldn't try to chase down Scorchers. They should rather try to skirmish the Scorchers, while the Scorcher want to either go into close range or keep skirmishing at max range. So yeah, it can be a bit micro intensive. Like you need like you need like 5 to 1 shot Scorcher, which is quite a lot. Let's see how he places. He walks his commander back a bit. So yeah, Daggers want to go in and shoot 1 shot, and the Scorchers want to do like this. Oh, they almost get a dagger. So let's see how they play this. Yeah, you can run away and the Daggers can chase, or you want to try to go in at low range. Yeah, so far you're doing pretty well. You're keeping up the expansion, you're keeping up the energy. You set your Rover assembler on low priorities, so it will be expansion will be prioritized. Yeah, as a you shouldn't be too afraid of expanding with your comm. You shouldn't really be idle with your commander if you can. Like against hovers, you're not really threatened so much by daggers. You shouldn't fear daggers, and if you see something slow, incoming radar, it could be a Mace, and that's something scary. But yeah, you should be able to see something slow coming a mile away, and then you can build Lotus turrets. So yeah, you should be expanding with your commander. And you can see here, even against overwhelming odds, Marathon still lost a dagger trying to chase down the Scorcher and almost lost another one. So yeah, your commander has been idle for a while. Yeah, you shouldn't fear daggers too much. If you just have your Scorchers nearby, they shouldn't be able to die your commander and kill it, because daggers have pretty low DPS. Going for Rippers against daggers is fine, I guess. Yeah, it keeps you a bit more safe. You can also consider doing Fencers, because yeah, Fencer has decent HP, and yeah, they're not that expensive, and they increase the range on this situation. And you can see here, if you're not in a good position, yeah, you kill this Scorcher alone, killed 2 daggers, and the ball was out of position. So yeah, if the hover player isn't keeping his units in position, they're gonna struggle to deal with the Scorchers. Will you get the mix? Ah, barely get the mix. That's a little sad. Yeah, so you're expanding here with Lotus Turret, that's good. Having some extra range against daggers, combination with your Scorchers is good. Should you try to raid here more? It's hard to raid against daggers because they're faster. You can consider using like Fencers to push out on the map, but yeah, you're doing a pretty safe expand, and you're keeping basically, let's see here, if you look here at metal produced, yeah, you're pretty even. Yeah. So yeah, once you have like 2 Rippers, you can probably start pushing out. 1 Ripper is a little bit is not enough, I'd say, because it doesn't one-shot the dagger, and they will surround it and kill it if this just one. If you have two, yeah, you will fire 2 shots and start killing the daggers, and they will struggle to actually get on top of the rippers. But yeah, you can play it defensively as well. I don't see a problem with this in this situation. You're a bit idle here, but yeah, you probably want to have a radar here. So yeah, this is a lot of daggers in combination with your scorchers. This could go well if you turn back your commander now as well. But yeah, that didn't go well for you. Yeah, like your scorchers were blocking each other, and yeah, this is a lot of daggers, so they did a lot of burst damage. But at least you saved the mexes, so not too big of a deal. Yeah, if you see this against a commander, you barely see this with radar. Against a commander and Lotus Turret, you will lose your rippers, so that's kind of bad. You choose to retreat, that's the right choice. You lose 1 ripper. Yeah, that can easily happen. And how is you're starting to excess here. You need more build power. That's a lot of daggers, that's kind of scary. You have a ripper here at least in position. But yeah, if you have no Lotus turrets, the Scorcher are gonna struggle to like deal with a ball of daggers if you have nothing to extend the range of these units. So yeah, you're excessing here a bit. That's quite bad to excess in this situation. Yeah, if you're reacting here and see a slow unit, you should expect a Scalpel or Mace. And yeah, if you really want to be on top of the Mace, because it can easily kill your Lotus turrets, and your Scorchers are going the other way, because you're distracted here, I guess. So yeah, the Mace is kinda okay, it retreats and takes a bit of damage, kind of unnecessary, but okay. Yeah, I'm not sure going this heavily into Rippers is a good choice. Like, Rippers loses quite decently against Maces. They have less range, and yeah, they will generally suffer. Like, the Maces can generally kite the Rippers if the Mace player is paying attention. So yeah, I don't like the choice there. And yeah, you retreat wisely here against this Mace. That's good. But yeah, but behind this you have nothing. So yeah, how do you deal with Maces as a Rover? Yeah, I recommend using fencers at range in combination with, on this map it's kind of small. Your commander is out of position here. If you had your commander in combination, yeah, your Ripper and the Lotus Surge should be able to kill it. Probably not quite. Your commander is a bit out of position. It just dies. But yeah, you can see here that, yeah, Lotus Surge don't do much against Maces if you don't combine it with like Scorchers in a well-timed match fashion. And you can see here that the burst damage of the daggers does decently well still against them. So here you can see that the Mace is outranging the Rippers, and you kinda, like, if you combine your commander here with and lead with the commander and have Rippers on the side here to the commander, then you can actually deal with the Mace. But yeah, you're gonna struggle to deal with the Mace if you just send him in Rippers to die one by one like that. So yeah. So yeah, you need to, like, yeah, I can see that you're not really, yeah, your focus is not really there, you're not really dealing with multiple attacks well. You need to be able to deal with multiple attacks better to keep track. A Mace is a big threat in when you're facing hovers, and your commander dies. Could I try to retreat it earlier? Going for a fusion reactor on this map seems a bit excessive. Like, wind is actually pretty good on this map. Like minus, like 0.2 minimum is decent actually. And you can spam out wind faster or solars pretty easily. Yeah, so if you look at metal produce, you did initially you did pretty well. You were pretty even, but then you kind of got stuck against the dagger ball and you didn't do anything. And I'd say you made too many Rippers. Like, the thing with Rippers is they're not really good against they're not really good against anything in the factory. Like they're not good against bolas. If there's alone and outnumbered, you're gonna get swarmed by daggers. If you have two, then you can maybe do stuff. But yeah, building too many rippers is gonna be susceptible to maces and scalpels, especially on a small map like this. Like the enemy has no trouble spamming out maces and scalpels on this small map. And rippers are not that good in offense either against Lotus Cert. So I'd recommend relying more on like fencers and maybe, yeah, a few rippers here and there is fine. Scorchers, if you micro them well, can be decent against daggers, like they can keep up, and with Lotus turrets and fencers behind them, they can do pretty well. So yeah, in the end you got like, yeah, you didn't trade well against the daggers. It's really important that you're on top of your micro against daggers. You need to like react quickly if you see a ball. Well, like when you had a ball coming here of daggers, you didn't react, you sent these Scorchers out here, and you lost these 3 Scorchers. And the daggers killed the Lotus turret, and you turned back with the Scorchers, and you lost all the Scorchers and didn't really do much. That's when it started to go downhill from you. Instead, when you have radar, you can put the Scorchers on front here, and then retreat them back towards the Lotus turrets and try to kite the daggers as they approach the Lotus turrets, and then the Lotus turret will also deal damage. And then the hover play has to choose if they want to retreat and take some damage, or if they want to go in for an attack. And if they go in for the attack, you have to consider and spread out your Scorch well. If you want to take the fight, yeah, you probably want to go in at minimum range while the enemies are trying to kill your Lotus turret and getting distracted by the mexer and everything, and send in the Scorchers at point blank range, or you want to try to keep the Scorchers at max range and retreat and keep them alive. Meanwhile, your commander was also walking away from here. Your commander is a big asset in against daggers, because it's not easy to kill a commander, and if you just have a few Scorchers nearby, it's really hard. Like, daggers have decent HP, so if your commander is completely alone, you're gonna struggle to kill the daggers in time before they kill it. But if you have Scorcher around, or if you just make a few Lotus turrets, yeah, then you're gonna be fine. So yeah, try to not idle your commander, especially in the hover mirror. Your commander is a good asset. You should only fear like maces and scalpels. Daggers don't do enough DPS. Bolas don't do that much damage either. They take a long time to kill your commander, and they take quite a while to slow it. So yeah, you should be pretty safe against bolas. You should only fear like maces and scalpels, and you should see that incoming on radar. And then I recommend, like, you probably want to use fencers and Lotus turrets to creep forward. It depends on the situation, but yeah, you can have it. They do much. Fencers do much better against scalpels and maces, and if you have like daggers to distract, if you have like darts to distract the scalpels, or like if the maces try to go in, you can send forward the Scorchers or slow it with darts, while the fencers deal damage at range. You can do pretty well. And then maybe if like the enemy is starting to, if the enemies have like halberds, you can have Scorchers and maybe Ravagers. Yeah, so I suggest that instead of making so many Rippers, because the Ripper is gonna backfire on you. And try to like be aware. You want to have radar like here. If you have commanders here, you have radar there. But you want to have a radar like here, so you can see the enemy maces on radar, so you can react appropriately. So that if you should have like 1 or 2 Lotus turrets. If you see a scalpel or mace coming, it's fine to build an extra Lotus turret. In combination with your Scorchers, that should keep them pretty safe. Like the Scorchers can fend them away, and kill it if the maces goes in, while the Lotus turret deals damage. But also fencers does the same thing kinda, and are mobile, so they force the enemy to commit to the attack. So yeah, those are my tips for you. Good luck and have fun.